See, so they're gonna put in the questions there.
You are live.
What is going on?
I'm here with Luke, trainer. Luke, it's been such a long time since we last spoke.
Yes, indeed. It's been a minute. It's been a long while. How you doing? You alright?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Just chilling. Just waiting for the big day now.
I know. Even seeing that smile just brightens my day, Luke.
Stop it. How's life been? Everything good?
Oh, really good. Yeah, really good. Just trying to keep on keeping on. But the interview is all about you. So let's first of all talk about the 26th of September, and then let's catch everyone up on everything that's happened since you won the contract. So,
all right, cool.
Finally, you're getting to make your Bellator debut, and I say that because you were supposed to make your debut on the London card back in May, but obviously Rona has sent the world mad.
Yes, indeed. It's been a while. Can you hear me all right? I know there's music in the background. Just double checking.
No, I can hear you.
Yeah, all right, solid. Listen, it's been a mad year. 2020 been a bit of a write-off for everyone. I'm not complaining. I realised halfway through the year, I was like, all right, you can't complain about life anymore, man. Everything is good. So I knew if I just stayed on the right path and kept doing what I was doing, kept training, chipping away, doing my thing, an opportunity would come, and then not Bella. I need to learn some Italy, but I need to learn how to say hello in Italian. But yeah, so the opportunity come. Bellator, offered us the fight. Me and Paradigm, the management team, they said, listen, we got a scrap. It's in Milan. It's on like 3 weeks' notice. What do you reckon? And I was like, let's get it. So yeah, the worst thing about it was the weight cut. I was like, all right. I've been a thick boy during Corona, and I need to get off the pounds. But listen, I did it. The weight cut has now gone spectacular, to be fair. So everything is good. We're on track.
It actually sounds like you're calling me from the sauna.
No, I'm in the ice bath. I'm in the ice bath right now. I'm in the ice bath. I thought, let me kill two. I just finished the session, so I just thought, let me
you
kill
were
two birds with one
remarkably, talking completely fine.
Catherine,
that's amazing.
Do you know what? Listen, this ice bath has been my saviour. Shout out to Rise Gym, but it's been my saviour for this camp for recovery. And now it's like, all right, let's get it. It's just part of the norm now. I feel like I'm Wim Hof. Do you know what I mean? I'm like the Iceman. So, but yeah, no, it's just part of the thing. Look, I'm not neck deep yet. Once I get neck deep, it all gets a bit suspect. But until that point, I'm chilling. I'm good to go.
Wow. So it's the same opponent that you were supposed to have back in May, isn't it? Alex O'Toole. So what do you know about him? He's got a bit more experience than you, professional fights-wise. Actually, first of all, let's clear up your record. Because on the Bellator press release, it came out as 3-1, and I was like, when has Luke had this sneaky loss that I didn't know about?
It didn't happen. It's fake news. It's fake news. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I think Bellator, the admin staff just made a slight error. Listen, it's no biggie on my behalf. You can go on to pretty much every other MMA site and they'll tell you I'm 3-0. Really?
But I can tell you it's 5-0. Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, to win this Bellator contract, you had to win the light heavyweight tournament at EFN. And there was obviously 3 fights in one night. And the other 2, apart from the final, have gone down as exhibition bouts because because they're not full length fights, or they were short number of rounds. Yeah. But to me, the opponents that you faced in those, it's pretty harsh to not have that on your record.
Listen, you know what? No matter what anyone says, whether the fights count or not, that was the best night of my MMA career. So regardless, that was for me, every fight counted, because if I had lost any of them, if I had lost the exhibition, the fake fights, then I wouldn't have got the opportunity to fight for Bellator. So it doesn't matter though. Let's be real. It's all gravy. I'm 3-0. I'm not 3-1. But for all you haters out there, if you want to believe I am, then that's cool too. I don't mind. Live the best life. But yeah. So my opponent, my opponent is Alex O'Toole. He's from a gym, I think up north somewhere. I think he's from Shore Grip. It's a good gym. He has some good training partners. Some of his training partners have been down to Titan in the last couple of weeks. Don't know if they're doing some reconnaissance or something, but yeah, by all accounts, I mean, I've seen his footage. I've studied his footage honestly every day like a little psychopath. But there's not much to see because there's his last fight, I believe, was 2 years ago, and he fought competition that, in my opinion, wasn't of the same level that I fought.
I'd agree with that, yeah.
And I mean, look, he dealt with them guys. He completely smashed them guys. So so good for him. But just trying to study someone's tape when they only have a limited amount of fights to watch, and when the competition doesn't give him much, doesn't put him in uncomfortable positions. It's kind of like, all right, cool. You've smashed some low level opponents. So from that, I can kind of guesstimate his game plan, and you can kind of study his skill set. But at the end of the day, MMA is MMA. You know, a few of my teammates and coaches have said, you know, they've given me mixed opinions about the fact that he hasn't fought in 2 years, and how do you feel about that?
Yeah, do we know why that is?
No idea.
Okay.
But in my mind, in my mental prep, it's because he's been to Dagestan and Thailand and perfected his arts of wrestling, Muay Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu. Do you know what I'm saying? So in my mind, he's just been sharpening his sword. That's the best way for me to prep. Otherwise, I'm not going to get off the getting the right mindset. So the people, like my mum this morning, I know she's watching, but my mum this morning was like, oh, that's cool. He hasn't fought in 2 years. Like, I haven't fought in a year, but at least it's not 2. And I was like, Mum, listen, you got to switch that attitude. I know you're trying to make yourself less nervous, but let's pretend it's because of a reason that he's become a better mixed martial artist rather than he's been lazy. And we're going to find out.
I think it's okay for her to think of it that way.
Listen, it's all...
Her baby's going in the cage. She needs to think that he's been sitting on his bum for 2 years doing nothing.
Do you know what? She's been remarkably calm. The conversation this morning was, I said, Mum, why aren't you... I was a bit worried. I was like, do you not like me anymore? Like, why aren't you as nervous as you normally are? And she's like, I don't know. I'm just excited. I think the layover... The fact that we haven't had a fight for so long, she's kind of maybe forgotten what that feels like, what it feels like for a little baby to go in the cage. And we've had a pretty hectic year. So for her, I think the last thing, she knows how excited I am. She knows how excited how big this opportunity is for me. So she's raring to go. My biggest fan. She's about it. But yeah, so. We're good to go on the opponent.
It must be hard for them that they can't be there because, well, I'm sure your dad's going over with you, but like in terms of like watching, being in the crowd, you've always had a huge support system whenever you've fought anywhere. What do you think it's going to be like for you having a crowd?
Yeah, my crowd is still there. My crowd is still there in spirit. They're the only person who I know isn't excited about the fight is my nan, but they've been 15 fights later, I don't think I'm ever changing that. So, but yeah, so it's a little different. I'm bringing my dad with me. I was only allowed 2 cornermen, and it was a toss-up between my teammate and my dad. And for me, I mean, obviously Stu understands that how important it is for my pops to be there for me. You know, he's been there since day one, so it's going to be a great experience for him to going from, you know, UFW in some leisure centre with sticky floors to what I'm assuming is going to be a nice venue, although there's no crowd, so it might be a sticky floor strip club again. Who knows? But yeah, so I'm bringing my coach and my pops, and for me that's enough. You know, I've visualized this fight like a serial killer for the last, I don't know how long, since Wembley's camp. So I'm raring to go. I'm ready to go. I'd go on my own. I said to Bellator, listen, if you could get me a fight sooner, I said during Corona, I'll fight for free. You don't have to pay me anything. Don't pay for any cornerman. Just cover my flight, even if you can't.
Don't say that, Luke. You nutter.
Listen, they know. Listen, I'm here to earn my salary. So So I know they signed me on a big contract, and at first I thought the reason they weren't going to put me on was because of the money. I thought, it's for them, it's taking a risk investing that much money into me. But now I realise it's not because of that. But I was down to fight for free 100%. And listen, it's out there now, so maybe I've just messed myself up. But my manager's going to call me like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I think maybe let them negotiate on your behalf. Yeah.
100%. Listen, I mean that's what they're there for. That's what a good manager does. And they said, don't say that again. I mean, sorry, David, if you're listening, but yeah. So I mean, luckily I'm not fighting for free. The contract still stands. Everything's still gravy. So yeah, it's good. But the no crowd situation, I actually went out to Germany 2 weeks ago with my teammate Stuart. He fought.
Yes, let's give him a big shout out for winning the belt out there.
Yes, please.
Well done, Stuart.
He actually mentioned to me, Katie. He said, "Why hasn't Katie ever done an interview with me?" So I think he's actually very keen to chat to you, by the way.
Oh, 100%. I'd love to chat to him too. It's literally been crazy the last few weeks trying to fit in 3 Cage Warriors cards, 4 Bellator cards, and Brave cards. And I really want to speak to him, so I will get in touch with him. Stuart, you're a legend for that fight. And yeah, listen, carry on.
I couldn't have been prouder than him, obviously beating Satoshi Ishii, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but an absolute legend. And to be fair, it was a tough fight for Stu, more so because Ishii was such a hero for him growing up in the judo world. But yeah, so we were there and there was no crowd. So I got to experience that from an outside perspective, and I loved it. Stu heard every single word. I heard every shin wrap across the leg. I heard every elbow hit the head. So it was cool. It really kind of emphasized that sort of like samurai warrior mentality, that I try to harbor, just because there's no crowd. You're not doing it for anything other than just it's a scrap. You've got to be a savage and get in there and just So it sparked another fire in me, which boy, this ice bath's getting cold now. This was a bad idea. But yeah, so no, it was a good experience, and I'm glad I got it, because now I've kind of experienced that no crowd, obviously from a bird's eye view, but I'm ready for it. Literally, I could be fighting at the White Line at my local, which I say my local, I've never been there, but it wouldn't matter. So it's it's all good.
Personally, I think if you're making your debut to, and no offense to any of the promotions you fought on before, because they're all amazing, but when you're making the step up to a bigger promotion, I actually think not having a crowd there kind of is a kind of in between. Like, it's not, if you suddenly had 20,000 people screaming, it might be a bit like overwhelming kind of thing.
Yeah. I can see that. I'll be dead honest with you. I couldn't have been more excited to fight at Wembley. I've learned to love the crowd. I've been there a few times, but obviously, I bring a big energy with me. So I learned to love that. Ready or Not comes on, and then the crowd gets all excited. I come on to blow a kiss to my mum and my sister, and it's kind of like another mental link for me. So the fact that there's no crowd this time, it doesn't bother me. But I enjoy the crowd. It's a sport for the fans at the end of the day. So yeah, it's all good. It's like the no. Oh, the power.
Oh, it's got dark in there.
Hang on. Oh, there you go. We're back. But yeah, so the fact that there is no crowd doesn't really bother me. It is what it is. But we're gonna see what it's like to fight in there. Hopefully, Rona's going to finish pretty soon, and we're going to be able to get back to normality. But I'll keep. Listen, I want to be like Kamza. I want to keep fighting every weekend. So if this whole Corona situation means that there's more fights for me because I'm ready, then no crowd, whatever it is, White Lion at the local, I'm down. So.
I've said this about a few people, but I couldn't imagine a world where I wasn't at your Bellator debut. That's the downside of it. Because if I feel like that, I know there's hundreds of your family and friends. I know how many tickets you used to sell and like people you used to bring with you. So I know how many people you'd have with you going to a Bellator show. But those fights are gonna be coming in the future
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
This is first and foremost, and the one you've got to focus on.
That's it. And do you know what it is for me? I'm gonna get down a little bit deeper. So you don't get the nips in there, but you know what it is for me right now. It's a bit of a catch-22, right? Because when I could bring a crowd, I'd bring a crowd of say 100 people, and I'd have 100 people view. Some people might watch this stream. I ain't going nipple deep. That was a lie. I could take that back. I'd have a crowd of 100 people. I'd have the odd few watch it on the stream, and then people just catch on the highlights. Whereas now, where there's no crowd, I'm either going to be on Channel 5 or I'm going to be on the YouTube live, which is the easiest YouTube live anyone can catch. So it's
going to be easy for them.
Yeah, and it means I'm probably going to have more views. So it's all gravy. Like it's like it's again, it is what it is, and everyone's going to be able to watch it after the fight, regardless. So yeah, we're going to see what's cracking, but it will be a weird experience.
I'm sorry I've been looking away, but we're having a few technical issues that the questions aren't showing up here, but I've been told that there are some that I'm not asking, so I'm just going to try and find the ones. Somebody's asking if I can take my top off as well. I won't, just because I'm wearing the Luke trainer top. So look
at that. Solid.
Unfortunately,
you keep that on, Jeffrey. Let's keep it PG.
Does Luke think that Katie should have another MMA fight? I don't think anyone thinks that.
Listen, I mean, I love you interviewing. So if it means you're gonna stay interviewing, then do your thing. But keep your face pretty. Keep your face pretty. Don't get in there.
Or don't make it any worse, at least.
Nah.
Who would your dream opponent be to fight? This is pretty on in your career for people to ask you that, but
yeah. Do you know what? I've been here 20 minutes. I'm gonna get out of the ice bath and just sit on the step. My legs have gone numb. 1 second. Wow. Dream fight. So to be fair, these last, especially during Corona, but the last year, I've looked at the Bellator roster a ton. And I know I'm going to be in Bellator for the foreseeable future. So really, I mean, right now, I'd like to make a solid run within the next 2 years at a title. There's some great fighters in Bellator. If I'm honest, I think I do well. You know, I've trained with some really high-level guys now. I've done a lot of training now in America. I've done a lot of training in Sweden, and I've trained with some big-time light heavyweights over in the UK too. And I do well. So I've tested my skills in the gym, and I've really found like a mental strength to not freeze up in the cage anymore. So I think I'm ready for higher competition. So I'm ready to make a run. I can't actually pronounce the champ's name, so I'm not even going to try.
I can't pronounce it either.
All right, it's not just me.
No, I was hoping you were going to say it.
Get out of here. No, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to pronounce, but. So for that reason, let's just say I'd fight Ryan Bader. You know, that's Ryan Bader's opponent would be great. But I'd like to make a run.
His name's Nemkov, isn't it?
Yamkov, yeah, okay.
Nemkov, yeah.
Nemkov. So that would be a great fight. I think, obviously, these fights aren't anytime soon. I'm assuming I'm going to have to get through a lot of guys within the next year, the next 2 years, and then look to make a run at that sort of top 5. If it happens any quicker, it happens quicker. Like I said, I'm ready to make a run. I'm 24 now, and if anything, I actually feel like I've wasted quite a lot of time, especially through Rona. There's not been obviously there's not been the opportunity for me to fight. So, but I've been just sharpening the sword, and I've got a lot better, and I wanna let everyone know how much better I've got. So yeah, I'm good to go. Like I'm excited just to make a run now. So.
What do you think about the light heavyweight situation in the UFC with John Jones vacating the belt and the fact that Jan Blachowicz and Reyes are going to fight for that? How do you see that title fight going?
I think Reyes is going to get the title fight. I think Reyes is going to win. I see it being a TKO, Blachowicz is dope. He's super aggressive. He's got really heavy hands. He's got good wrestling, but I feel like Ray's really showed in that Jones fight how good he is. I also think that people seem to be looking past Santos for whatever reason.
I know.
I think Santos is the champ of that division for a little bit. I see Ray's winning. I see Ray's finishing Blachowicz, and then I see Santos finishing Ray's. It's got spicy. Do you know what I mean? That division has all of a sudden got spicy, and I'm so happy for John. Like I know him. I'm so happy for Jay. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm stoked for him because now you've got some serious title fights, and as if he doesn't go down as the greatest already, he's 100% just gonna solidify that title. You know, I think he does very well at heavyweight. I think his size and stature, his technique and his speed is going to carry through. I don't think he's going to get too much bigger either. His biggest problem, I think, is going to be Ngannou, but Ngannou seems to be everyone's biggest problem. So it's not like that's anything new. But yeah, listen, I think it's great. It's great for the light heavyweight division, and it's great for John Jones. So
and we always hear about these, potential. Everybody wants to see Bellator UFC crossover fights to kind of prove who the best in the world is. And I feel like the light heavyweight division without John Jones in it really is probably the division that's the most open between, the most kind of level. And the fact that Bader just lost the title kind of, just you don't know who's the best even within those promotions, let alone a crossover. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's something I would love to see.
It'd be phenomenal. I feel like it definitely can. I think Rising and Bellator.
Definitely.
I think they're in talks, and once they do that, once that kind of floodgate opens, I can't see why UFC wouldn't.
Well, we've already had Horiguchi fighting in Bellator, haven't we, against Bellator guys? And I guess they're both quite open to that. But
I mean, I don't know a business perspective. Obviously, for me, I'd love to see the best fight the best. But I've heard that a reason could be that Dana wouldn't want his UFC guys to get beaten.
I'm sure.
It's a big risk. Whereas Bellator kind of have super high level fighters, but UFC already has kind of got that creme de la creme title. Whether it's right or wrong, I just feel the mainstream, they were the first, whatever. But yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully one day that'd be a cool opportunity, 100%.
That's it. That's definitely something that I would like to see, and especially in that division. I also wanted to ask you about our mutual friend who fought in the UFC last night.
Big D.
He put on such a great display. I was convinced he'd won. You still there, Luke?
I am. 1 second. Sorry. One second.
I'm just going to check the other platforms to see if we've got any more questions come in.
That's my bad.
No worries.
It's flipping cold after the ice bath, so I thought I'd put a hoodie on. Obviously, Darren's fight, it was incredible. It was a great performance, a super entertaining scrap. I don't know. I had it very close. I don't know. I think Darren would say it was close too. Darren's a real guy. So I don't. Have you
seen the video of Kevin Holland telling Dana that he didn't win that fight? What do you think of that?
I think it's great. I think it shows his humility as well. And it shows that he doesn't want to go down, and he doesn't want people to say you didn't beat him. So why not run it back and solidify it? It was entertaining. No one got hurt in that scrap. It was awesome. It was a very, very fun fight. I definitely think Darren had the last round. The second round was a little bit. It could have gone either way, and I think the first one went to Kevin. So.
First one definitely went to Kevin. Third one definitely went to the dentist. I gave him the second round as well, but Yeah, it was close. I just really like to see Kevin Holland do that. I was a fan of his before, and obviously I wanted the dentist to win, but seeing him do that after, I thought that was a very classy move, and I really hope that they do run it back because both guys are up for it.
100%, and like you said, because he could have just come away from the fight. Even if he didn't think he won, he could have said, "Yeah, well, judges in judges' hands," and no one would have said anything to him because that's the right thing to do for your career. But he's he's a stand-up guy, and he's a super fun guy to watch as well, as is Darren. Also, shout out to Darren's cornerman. I've met him a couple of times. I apologize that I forgot his name, but he is the loudest cornerman I've ever heard, man. He's dope. I need that energy in my scrap. So I might say to my dad.
Is it Michael Russell or his other cornerman?
I think it's his cousin. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
So he's got super high level judo too. He's come to the gym a couple of times. But yeah, great fight. Love to see Kevin Holland be a real guy, and Darren's going to bounce back 100%.
Yeah.
I'm shaking. Is the camera shaking or? It's flipping.
Yeah, the camera is going up and down.
I've never not jumped in the hot shower right after, so I apologise.
You won't be doing that again in a hurry.
Never. I thought it'd be a great idea. I thought it'd be really funny. Didn't go down like I thought it would, but it's all good.
Oh, I just wanted to ask you as well about cooking with the gent on Instagram.
Yeah.
Talk to me about these cooking tutorials.
So, I stop shaking if I do this. Boom. There you go. So cooking with the gent. I was like, all right, cool. How can I spice the gram up a little more? I got super into cooking during Rona. I was like, all right, what can I do? Let me start cooking. And then I did a little tutorial on some chocolate rice cakes, and someone was like, "Oh, I'd like to see this again." Pretty sure it was my mum, but let's just say it was a fan. And then I thought, all right, let's go live. I went once, people liked it. I went again. I think I got 10 episodes deep, and then camp kind of started kicking off, and I was like, all right, I'll do it as and when. After this fight, I'm getting straight back to it. I actually really enjoy it, but I just listen. I try and stay off of my phone as much as I can during camp. I just like to get focused in different ways. So cooking with a gent take a back seat. But I'll be back. Listen, I'll be honest with you, Katie. I don't know if you know who Deliciously Ella is. Do you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, yes, she's married and yes, she has children, but I really think I still have a chance with her. So I'm just waiting, and or at least maybe she has a twin sister who also loves to cook healthy food and all that jazz. So this is me just like shooting my shot. Every episode I'm hoping she's gonna see it and
we'll tag her.
Oh, I have many times, and I've sent her about 17 DMs and she still didn't go back to me. So but yeah, so no, the cooking show's fun. And it's a way I can just kind of connect with everyone on Instagram. People shoot me messages. People ask me what I'm cooking next and give me requests and all that sort of jazz. It's cool. Like it's just another fun way to pass the time. So So yeah, it's dope.
So people can catch them on your Instagram at the moment. They're all still there, and you'll be doing more after. Shouldn't be asking you about food during the weight cut time. That's really poor form.
It's so good. Do you know what? This cut has actually gone spectacular. Like this cut has been the easiest cut of my life. I decided I'm not going to dehydrate off since the tournament. I didn't do any dehydration whatsoever. I water loaded and woke up on weight a kilo under. So everything was done through diet. And I decided after that, it was the best I'd ever felt. Everyone on weigh-ins day was walking around like a zombie. And I was listening to country, singing like in the back, just dancing on my own. So I decided every camp, if I can, I'm going to do it like this. So the last 3 weeks, I've been super disciplined with my diet. I'm already like 3 kilos out. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So like I said, I'm just going to water load hopefully that's it. I'm trying to not shake. I'm holding my hands together like this. I'm like, Luke, hold it together, Playboy. But yeah, so the weight cut's gone great. Cooking with the gents coming back. Can we just throw this out here? I haven't had sugar since Boxing Day.
Wow.
Again, another little problem with my brain. I don't like to cheat on my diet until after the fight. Like I need to kind of earn the cheat. So part of my fight camp.
It's been a long time.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. So yes, I haven't had refined sugar since Boxing Day, and refined sugar is my treasure. So
Wow.
I'm in Italy. Like I haven't had pasta. I haven't had bread. So I'm gonna go to Italy for one day. I only get one day to celebrate, but yeah, me and Pops are gonna roll around and eat ice cream, whatever. If anyone out there has any suggestions, I've been asking on the gram, but no one's come through with anything other than like lasagna and pizza. So thanks for that. But if there's any delicacies, pastries is my thing, and yeah, I might even run some sort of like tasting with the gent. Oh, we'll figure it out. But
sounds good.
But yeah, so I'm dead excited. Dead excited.
Right, I'm sorry to look away, but we've got some more questions come through on here.
How do you see the viewership on this, by the way? Like, because I can't see.
Usually it would be in the corner next to where it says live, but this is the first time ever we've got a technical issue where we can't see. But I can see there's double figures watching on Facebook, but normally it accumulates all of them from YouTube and Twitter as well. But yeah, sorry, I can't answer that at the moment. That's all good. Steve wants to know what your best trash talking line is. I can't see you trash talking.
Steve, I don't trash talk. Listen, for me, it's I see trash talking. I mean, I know McGregor does it, and I know there's some people who do it and are successful. The second you start running your mouth, you're a paper tiger to me. So it's like I'm hoping every fight. I've only had it once. Every fight, I hope someone's going to open their mouth, like at the weigh-ins or during whatever, and they just, because you start talking and they forget that we're going to have a fist fight in a cage. Like it's, so yeah, I know trash talk, that's not me. And I find weakness in the people that do. So yeah. So
if they trash talk you, do you just laugh at them? Do you say anything back?
No, no, I don't. I remember one guy I fought as an amateur, like early in my career, maybe it was my second fight. He made a video on Facebook, and I could probably get the video still, but he made a video like calling me like a young, skinny, whatever, or some jazz, and I looked at it and laughed. I was like, oh my goodness, look at this loser. And then my nan saw it and called me, and my nan is a warrior. My nan does not like me fighting. This is well documented. She is scared of me fighting.
Yeah.
And she was like, Luke, I've just seen this guy, and he's a quote unquote scary looking dude. And she was like, I just saw the guy you're fighting. He seems really angry. I was like, oh, that's it. That just pissed me off even more, because I was like, you've upset my nan
now.
You've upset my nan, Playboy. We're gonna get it. So I think I rear naked choked him in like 27 seconds, something like that. So yeah, and I was angry. That was the only fight where I went in legitimately angry. But yeah, like ever since then, it's just, I don't know. People seem to be more respectful in the sport. I'm sure I'm gonna come against it, and like I said, if you do, I'm going to look at you as a paper tiger. It's, that's just, I guess, the way I was brought up. You don't run your mouth. We're going to scrap. Regardless, you're going to scrap.
Yeah.
So it's, so no trash talk, Steve. I'm sorry, brother.
A lot of people just saying hi. Chelsea Lucy says, yes, Luke.
What's going on, Chelsea?
What's your fave healthy meal and your fave cheat meal?
Oh, no, it's okay. Right. Favorite healthy meal.
People making you think about food.
Listen, I welcome it. I've only got 1 week, and then literally a week from today, I'd have had a scrap, I'd had money in my bank, and I'd have pizza in my mouth. So, healthy food-wise, I think I'd go maybe some. Ooh, if we're talking like one meal, then I guess some chicken thighs with like a nice little, I don't know, a nice little Cajun rub, and I'm talking like 7 chicken thighs, and then some potato wedges, but like the thick ones with like 3 C's. Again, Cajun style, or maybe some chipotle rub on them, with a ton of roasted veg. That would be my go-to. If I didn't have to worry about weight, that would be my healthy meal.
Bit of avocado in there. Do you like that?
Ooh, why not, Catherine? Chuck it in. Why not some guacamole? Who knows? But and then unhealthy. I'm a sweet guy, if I'm honest. I like savoury too, but ice cream would be my go-to every single time. An ice cream sundae from Cineworld Stevenage. Forget about it. If we've got a Marvel movie with a 7-scoop ice cream sundae from Cineworld, yeah, it's done. It's a done dada with extra whipped cream. It's that would be my go-to. I think unhealthy meal. If that counts as a meal, I don't know.
You've got to get some gelato out in Milan. Then that's got to be the first port of call.
Do you know? So that's basically posh ice cream, right? Gelato.
It's the Italian version of ice cream. Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it. And then you've got the thin crust pizza too, which I'm excited about. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're getting.
And they do the cannolis that Matt Serra's always talking about with all the different fillings in them. Oh, you're gonna have a treat out there.
So my friend, I was out with a couple of friends last night on a dog walk, and Jason, I think you know Jason, Tall Jason. He Lovejoy, yeah.
Shout out to him as well.
Shout out to Mr. Lovejoy. Him and his wife are having a baby actually.
Congratulations to you both.
Yes,
big
indeed.
Shout out.
Yeah, so that was the best news of my year, man.
We're not breaking news, by the way. They've already announced it.
Imagine getting called, Luke, what are you doing? But yeah, no, he come round. He was being really weird. Him and Katie, his wife, they were both being super weird with me for like 3 weeks, and they kept calling me and then like wanting to meet up, but I couldn't because I was in camp, and he was just being a bit odd. And then he said, "Yo, do you want to go gym and come round my house a little bit earlier?" Thinking he was going to cancel or whatever. And then we all sat down. My family were in there, and they come in for a cup of tea. And then he told us, I was bawling it. I started crying. I held it together. As soon as they showed me the scan, I was like, nah. That's them two humans are some of my best friends, man. So it's I'm being an uncle out here, and yeah, so I can't remember. Yeah, and then he showed me a cannoli. Was the short version of that story, but. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I've never been to Italy, so it'll be a good experience. But
it will be. So are you watching Cobra Kai? Somebody wants to know who's better, Johnny or Daniel?
I refuse to watch Cobra Kai. My other best friend, Harry, who was out last night, I had to go at him because he recommended Umbrella Academy and Cobra Kai. So I got 2 episodes deep in both of them and was dead upset with him. Oh how dare you! How dare you? Karate Kid 1, 2, 3-ish, and then the new Karate Kid, the movies, down. Karate Kid 1, one of my favorite movies of all time, right? You give me Cobra Kai and tell me to watch it. Get out of it. Get out of it.
Well, I'm outraged, Luke.
I was disgusted by it, but no disrespect to Cobra Kai.
Oh, there's lots of people watching. I'm so sorry that we can't have this up on the screen. Who's Alan Broxton?
Oh, I know Alan Broxton. Oh, this is bad. Alan Broxton. Alan, I'm sure I know you by Alan, sir, but Broxton doesn't ring a bell.
He said you're a top man with a heart of gold.
Oh, Alan, well, thank you, brother. You're also a top man. I'm sure I know you, sir. The Asbath, it's the last name. I'm sorry, brother.
And then just some people commenting on the dentist fight. Again, just saying what a good but close fight it was. Yeah. Something else I wanted to ask you about was the mini beast movement, because the lady who set that up is coming on the show at some point. She wants to do an interview, and I know you were involved with that at the beginning. I don't know if you're still involved with that.
Yeah, so I did some mentoring for a little boy called Leo, and it was cool. I think because of Corona, it made things a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Especially because he wasn't able to get into the gym, and and because he lived so far away from me, it didn't go down as I thought it would.
Right.
I mean, I'm still like I told them guys, I'm still down to help with whatever you need to help with. And I think me and Leo still chit chat from time to time. It's an awesome movement. It's a great concept. I just think for me they paired me up with Leo, and because we were so far away, like in my mind we were going to do pads and stuff like that, but it didn't work out that way. But I'm still on the line whenever he needs to chit chat or advice. His dad will message me from time to time. We haven't been in contact for a little bit, but again, I think just since Corona. But yeah, they both know that I'm here if they need any help with anything, or just I think it's just a general advice, someone they can come to for a little bit of a chit chat. So yeah, it was a great movement though, awesome.
Yeah, I think the whole thing, and the reason we haven't had, I think her name's Katie, isn't it? I think the reason we haven't had her on the show yet is exactly what you said. Because of Corona, most of the kids haven't been able to train for the last 6 months, so there's kind of less need for mentoring during that time. But I couldn't really think of anyone better to be a mentor to young people than you. I know you take that seriously. Not just this program, but like, you are a role model to kids, and a very positive one.
Well, listen, I appreciate that. I try and do my thing, but yeah, I'm actually in the midst now of figuring out. I've got a couple of ideas for after my next 2 fights. Once I have a little bit of funds behind me, I've got a couple of ideas with opening up my own. I don't know what to officially call it yet. It's going to be a sort of charity-run business, I guess. But I'd like to look into opening up an orphanage. Is basically what it is. And it just takes a little bit of funds for me to be able to run it successfully from the jump. But I'm speaking to some people in social care. Obviously, me and my family foster children. So we've got some good connections anyway. I've done some work over the lockdown with a few different charities. There's an awesome charity in Stevenage called Safer Places, and it's a women's refuge. And it's where basically women and their children escape domestic abuse. They go to these shelters, these refuges, and they take them in and give them safety, take them away from all the trauma, help them get a job, help them kind of start fresh. And I already had some plans, and since I was working with those guys, it just kind of sparked another fire in me. So like I said, I'm talking to some people in social care. I'm talking to a few other people in my local community. And once I have the funds, which I'm hoping is going to be within 3 fights, I'm going to look to open something up where I can just do a little bit more for children. But I can't wait. It's just another passion that I'm fortunate enough to be able to do, and yeah, I love it.
Safer Places, I've seen some of your posts on them, and it was something else I was going to ask you about, so I'm really glad you brought that up. And of course, you mentioned your lovely family there. Wanted to say hello to them because I haven't seen them in such a long time.
They're watching. They probably just said hello back. My dad doesn't know how this stuff works. He probably thinks you can hear him, but just joking, Dad. All right, don't be bad. But yeah, so that was a safe. If I'm honest as well, I was a little bit disappointed with some of the people on my gram. Just I got so much love from the post beforehand. Not disappointed, that's the wrong word. People live their life, but I got so much love from the post beforehand. I got like 100 new followers. I got all these likes and comments and shares and all that jazz. And I thought, great, what a time! Like that's why I put on. Now I've got your attention. Like I was buzzing it. Everyone was, buzzing around my page. And I thought, cool, let me share this thing about safer places, give people clear instructions on how they can help. And I've got so many people on my Instagram. I've got so many people within my community, and like I said, everyone's living their life. I'm a bit emotional because of weight cut or whatever. So take this with whatever you want. But yeah, I only had 2 people message back, and those 2 people are now doing something to help that company. But I know there's a lot of drama in the world right now, and there's a lot of stress. And I think people don't necessarily they want to help, but I think a lot of the time they feel a little bit helpless on how to get involved. A lot of people post on social media but don't really do anything. And I thought, cool, no drama, I get it. Let me give you a way to help a community that you can actually get involved with. Like a lot of people in Stevenage and Hertfordshire can see these buildings, right? They walk past them every day. They might not know they're there, but it's right there, So I just think when it comes to helping the world out a little bit, don't think too big. Think like, all right, local community first. Boom, let me build something from the ground up. So once I gave those instructions and didn't get much back, I was a bit like, all right, guys, no drama. You see all the posts, and it just, for me, it's like, if you're gonna do it, do it. If not, then But it is. Listen, people are busy. I get that. People are busy and they're doing their thing. If you do want to get involved, check out my Instagram on my last post. Shoot me a message. Safer Places, in particular, they can take donations or they're taking volunteers. And it's like I said, women and children who are escaping very traumatic backgrounds, and they just need a little bit of help, even if it's an hour a week. So it is what it is. I love everyone out there. It's all gravy. Not yelling at anyone. I'm just saying.
All I'd say to you is just to keep doing what you're doing, and the bigger the platform you get, to just to keep doing it, to keep doing your good work. All you can do is your bit and encourage other people to do the same. And I'm sure, the bigger the following you get, the more people you're going to reach with these projects. So
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, for me, I love to see that you're trying to help people. A few more questions coming in. Ellis LaRonda says, genuinely one of the nicest guys I know.
Thank you, Ellis.
Hope you know who Ellis is.
Thanks, Ellis.
And then Richard Moore says, Luke, very best for the week ahead. We'll be thinking of you. Keep working hard now. A true role model to Stevenage and the wider community. Mr. Moore, aka Rich.
Richard, thank you, Mr. Moore. I appreciate that. It's actually my PE teacher from school who did a lot.
I think he messaged us last time we were on.
Probably. Listen, Mr. Moore, we play chess from time to time. So, sir, when I'm back, I'm down. I'm down to take you down, sir. But yeah, Mr. Moore's great. He's always got so much support and love for me. So. Yeah, listen, I'm lucky. A lot of people from way back in the day still always shoot me some love, especially during fight week, which is nice. I love it. People give me that good vibe, good energy. So yeah, it's nice.
Well, I'm sorry we didn't have all the comments on screen for you to see who was messaging you, and I'm sure I've missed some people. I'm really sorry. I've tried to do my best to go through them, but let's put the link to Safer Places under the interview. We'll put that in the comments for anyone or I imagine that you don't mind people DMing you about that if anyone didn't see your original post and wants to get involved. But is there anyone you want to shout out before you go? Any sponsors or teammates or anything?
Yeah, I mean, Paradigm Sports Management. I'm sure David's watching this. So obviously I signed with them earlier in the year, and it's been a very good move for me. They've helped me out a bunch. They've obviously got me this scrap. So shout out to Paradigm Sports Management. Vigorate, as always, with my back. Cleanest skin in the
Still
fight
got the
game.
cleanest skin in the fight game.
Keeping it
You
strong.
can also get one of Luke's t-shirts on vigorate.com. So
Yes, you can.
check that out.
Yes, you can. Or you can shoot me a DM because I've still got a few in the stock room. So I need to get rid of them. But yeah, so Vigorate, thank you, you guys. Reach Your Peak, always supported me from day one as well. And I've got a few new sponsors on board. My Body, which is my sports physio, Matt. He's amazing. Thank you, brother. Truth Barbershop, on the go. They're a barbershop based in Letchworth. They're always helping me out too. They're on the team today. And yeah, Team Titan, all my teammates at Team Titan. Listen, I got a lot of love, a lot of good people behind me, my family, my friends, everyone. Thank you as always. This is now another new start of the journey. And yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm excited to get it.
I'm so excited. If I feel like this is highly anticipated and long awaited, I can't imagine what it feels like for you. It's been a long time coming. You knew that you won the contract. What were we back in March when that happened?
I won the contract in October, Katie. It's almost been a year. That's what I'm saying. I know that's one more month and it would have been a year since my last fight. So.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Wow. I knew it was the same night as Caterers Academy, so that was the only reason I wasn't there. So I was thinking it was March, but it was the card October. Before that, back in October. Yeah, you must be itching to get back in there.
Itching. That was for me. That was like the obviously the biggest fight of my life, but it was like, all right, cool. I just kept saying, I was like, this is what people talk about when they have to do something big. You know, my mantra was great people do great things, because it was like 3 fights in one night against some of the best up and coming like heavyweights in Europe. So for me to win that, I was buzzing, and all of a sudden I'm like, a year later, I've got a little bit of fat from Rona, and like there's been no fight. So
One more question for you then before you go. What did John Kavanagh say to you when you won? I saw your picture with him in there. It's obviously his fight night that he promotes.
He had some real kind words. He was excited that I won. I'll be honest, I don't know if I can say this, but he had a feeling I would win. He put me as a favorite. He invited me up to SBG. He said, welcome to come up and train. We'd love to have you down. They've got some good light heavyweights up there. And he said, good luck in the future. He had some kind words to say about my fighting style. And yeah, I mean, obviously he's a legend in the sport and a very wise man when it comes to mixed martial arts. So yeah. I was soaking up any knowledge he was giving me, and I will take him up. I will get over to SBG. I've never been to Ireland. I'd like to go.
And training with Johnny Walker.
Training with Johnny Walker, yeah, he had a great performance and a tough fight, but he had a great.
Oh my God, that was mental! Another mental fight last night.
Me and my dad were watching it this morning, like, what is going on? So yeah, no, it'd be great to go out there and get that atmosphere. And he was a lovely guy. It was a really well run show, and like I said, an amazing night. I'm just gutted that it's been so long since my last one. But
yeah, I actually think it's really hard to go into a tournament as a favourite, because tournaments are normally the night where the favourite doesn't end up. Like, there's so many things that can happen, and even if you win a fight, you can pick up an injury, or you can, just. I almost think it's harder to go into a tournament as the favourite. So I think you did a cracking job. Or every other tournament that I've seen, pretty much at like a really high level, the favourite hasn't won. So
yeah. I mean, I was the favourite in his eyes. I don't know if I was the favourite in everyone's eyes, because they had some legit competition. They had some really tough guys. The guy I fought, Magic, Mishek. I mean, everyone calls him Magic. So if I had a nickname called Magic, I'd want everyone to call me that too. So Magic he's legit. He's a big, strong, powerful dude, and I think he knocked both of his first opponents out within a minute, I think, of the tournament. So especially in that third round, I'm pretty sure he was going to go in as the favourite. And I'd gone to decision. My strategy was play it safe for the first 2 fights and don't get injured. And his strategy was obviously get through these guys as quick as possible so you have some juice. And that was a tough fight. That was a good fight for me. That was my hardest opponent to date. I wanted to fight Bellator, just so I could kind of get that win back in my column. That was the only loss I had as an amateur.
As an amateur, yeah.
But then my teammate beat him. So I was like, all right, solid. Janos got the W. Good for him. I didn't want to fight Janos in the final. I just didn't want to have to fight a teammate. And we made an agreement that we would have if we had to. But, you know, he lost to Magic, and then I beat Magic.
Revenge, at least. So, and shout out to Janos as well. I absolutely love Janos.
Love him. Such a good dude. He's got a little thick from Rona too. Janos, you might be saying that, brother. So he should be coming back in the gym soon. And at the gym, do you know what? Right now, before we go, Titan Fighter right now is teaming with talent. You know, we've gone from being a small guy team with a few big dudes to now being a big guy team with a few small dudes. But we've got a solid team of about 8 guys now. There's 8, you know, from heavyweight to middleweight. We've got a legit, consistent team of 8 dudes in our gym, and the vibe is amazing. This camp's been my best camp to date. So shout out to everyone on my team, the squad, the big boy squad. Life is good, Catherine. We're getting it. You look beautiful as always. Thank you so much for this interview. And
thank you so much. And I'm sorry you did it in a nice bath and then lived to regret it.
I'm not. I got 20 minutes solid. That's my longest one to date. So no, we're all good.
Almost down to the nipples. Anyone just tuning in at the end, that's going to sound really weird.
That will. You have to watch the whole thing again. But yeah, no, thank you, Catherine. I hope you have a beautiful day. And
thank you.
Let's catch up after the fight.
100%. Let's do a post-fight interview. I'm gutted I can't be there. I would have 100% got credentials for this and been there. But let's catch up straight after. And I obviously need to drop Stuart a message as well. Stuart, I do love you.
You're at his feelings. Katie. Give him a shout. All right,
you take care, Luke.
See you later.
Bye.